remember how Cat Williams unleashed a comedy storm? That storm is seemingly never ending. I don't think that storm's going away. And as I said on this show a few times before, there were so many comedians that he went off on, especially Steve Harvey and Kevin Hart. And a lot of other comedians had given their opinion about the Cat interview with Shannon Sharpe. Some comedians were in favor of what Cat was saying and they were siding with him. And then there were others that were against him, or at least going against what he was saying or calling him out because he was being divisive or whatnot. I mean, almost all black comedians came out and said something, whether they sided with him or not. I mean, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Griffin, Mike Epps, D. Ray Davis, Ari Spears, Chris Rock, all of them. Just anybody just came out. Cedric. I mean, it's crazy. So now, earlier, I was watching some of Monique's interview with Shannon. And as soon as I saw the headline, I was like, wait a minute. Now, okay, let me see what DL did. Like, what did he say or do in all this? And I listened to his response to Monique's interview. And then Steve Harvey also gave a response to the war going on between Monique and DL. We already got a war going on between Kevin Hart and Cat Williams. Now there's a war between Monique and DL. There's a war between her and Steve. Now, comedy war. This is what it is. This is America. We do like to do war. So now I'm going to play some of this, and I might pause at that point just to kind of give my own little opinion to what I hear on this. So here we go. I got everything ready right here. All right. Here we go.
I'm going to bring this up. I wasn't going to do it. But damn it, this seat.
I say, you might want to have another sip over.
This seat makes you go, truth, tell it. No, tell the damn truth. Tell the truth. Because family is sacred.
It's supposed to be.
And we don't cross the line with family.
Mm-hmm.
And people begin to get comfortable to jump on the Monique bandwagon of Monique doing things wrong, and she doing this and she doing that. And there's a brother named D.L. Hughley.
Yep.
And until he take accountability, I won't let it go.
What?
Because, what was you getting ready to say?
I was going to say, what did DL do?
Let me tell you.
That was my same question. What did he do? Of all people, how did he get in this? Here we go.
Baby, that voice went up, didn't it? D.L. is friend. He like, that's my friend.
No,
Yeah, Monique, go ahead and tell us. Tell us.
I've met DL on several occasions. I don't know DL like that.
Okay.
Do I know DL say like I know an earthquake? No. Do I know, since I've interviewed Cat, had several conversations with him, do I know DL on that level? No.
Right. See, when we say family is sacred,
Right.
Family is sacred. And we know that you don't cross the line when it comes to family.
Correct.
Right? I do DL's radio show.
Yes.
D.L. Hughley is not there. His team is there. And Shannon, we having a great time. I mean, baby, we having a great time. We going forward, back and forth. When we get to the end of the show, they say, Monique, you want to play a game? Well, I want to play. I said, sure, sugar. Let's play a game. And it's a game called Would You Rather.
No.
Okay? Now,
Monique, you should have said I'm too old for this game.
wait a minute. We're having fun, baby. Right? We having a good time,
Okay,
Shannon.
okay.
It's the sister there and there's two other guys. We're having a great time. It's a
Okay.
beautiful Black unity cookout.
Okay.
We're having a good time.
Okay.
Would you say your wife was your family? Is that considered family?
Yeah.
So your husband is considered family, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So here we go. They said, Monique, we want to play a game of Would You Rather. Let's go. Would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffens without one?
Wow.
Really, Monique?
Now, as y'all are watching right now who haven't heard this story, y'all going, they doing the same thing in the studio. They going, okay. That is exactly what happened. Now, I said to the team, how does that uplift our community? I said, sister, and her name is Jasmine, how could you ask another sister that? Well, we just planned. I said, tell me the joke in that, because I don't know what you're insinuating.
Uh-oh. Wartime.
Then you're involving people that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? So I said, I'm going to call my brother. Hey, what's
Oh my goodness, the dang commercials. Sorry, hold on. Damn commercials.
DL. I'm going to call my brother. I call DL Hughley on the phone. I say, hey, baby. Yeah.
Huh?
That's how he responds. Yeah.
Did he know it was you?
Yes, because they called him to let him know Monique's going to be calling. Like, this, it was getting crazy.
Right.
I'm like, just let me get on the phone with my brother, right?
Yeah.
Hey, DL, yeah. I said, listen, I just got off the phone with your team, and they wanted to play this game, Would You Rather? And it was like, stupid. Like, asking me about my husband and Lee Daniels and Corinne Steffens, and his exact words, well, that's how we do it. I said, DL, how does that uplift our community? And again, I don't know what y'all trying to insinuate, but brother, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do it. So it is what it is. Now, it got so ugly that my attorney had to send a cease and desist. So it never aired. So we have, like, when Cat Williams talk and people truth tell.
All right, let me pause it right there right quick. So I hear that, and my first thought is, okay, listen, I've been a fan of DL for a long time. I would think that his response should be, all right, fine. If you don't want us, next time you come on the show, we got to kind of go over the ins and outs. Let's just, okay, here's what we can talk about. Here's what we don't talk about. Here's what we won't ask you. And yeah, that's it. Now, again, this is just me pitching right here. Obviously, I can't tell somebody else how to do their show. Now, I'm not going to play the rest of that part because it's much longer. However, now here's what DL claims in response to that. He's saying that Monique lied about a number of things. And after hearing this right here, I don't know which side to believe. And then he added in some extra stuff. So you listen to this and you tell what you think. And by the way, this is raw, uncensored. This is, he's a comedian. What can you expect? Most comedians are going to be vulgar and foul-mouthed and just, come on. They're comedians. What can you expect? So, hear this out. Come on.
Well, Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a weight set. And so Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy-ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something. Or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got Captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time.
That's how comedians do. They can't help themselves. They got to be a-holes. You know how they do.
And my co-host, Jasmine Sanders, played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that she said she got off. She called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints, I listened to her, and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't, because I respected her wishes. She's a liar. It also befuddles the shit out of me how somebody who, as a comedian, talks as much shit about everybody else as she does. She has the temerity to be offended about anything, as much shit as you say about people. Then she encouraged everybody, allegedly, as STEM.
Which goes back to the point that I always say, and some comedians have said this, a lot of comedians say this. Pretty much all comedians are going to talk smack about everybody. Everybody and anybody. They're comedians. That's what they all do. Now, whether we like it or not, or dislike it, we can like them all, we can hate them all, whatever in between. That's just how they do. So you can argue, he can argue, Monique talks a lot of crap in her stand-up. So does he. So does Cat Williams. So does Dave Chappelle. Going all the way back, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. They all comedians. They all talk crap. A lot of it is funny. A lot of it isn't. It just depends on how you interpret it and from your own perspective. So, I mean, I've said that so many times on this show. It's kind of a broken record, but still.
From the fact that I used to always talk shit about her on video after video, and she encouraged her sweet babies to look at the video and find them. Do that. Do exactly what she says. And you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find any evidence of that, because Monique is a fucking liar. She's lying about that. But what you will find is Monique talking shit about some alleged contract dispute we had. Look at the ticket. It says D.L. Hughley, then Monique. She knows the story. But what she did in response to that, she talked about my dog, my wife. This broad even brought out my daughter's personal trauma.
Why she mentioned the dog? I don't know that.
Daughter was molested, and Monique brought that shit out and told the world that I allowed my daughter to be raped in front of me. The lying motherfucker. She knows she was lying. And it only stopped when everybody from my family checked her. It's interesting. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren, because nobody fucks with me. How do you have sweet babies when your own babies don't fuck with you? How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? Telling jokes. Monique, if she just spent as much time actually writing jokes and writing her Netflix special as she did complaining about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history, because that's what Monique does.
I haven't seen Monique's last two specials. She had one on so there were two that she had on Netflix. I think one was from like 2006 or something, and then she had this other one in 2020, and then I think she did a 2023 special that was on Showtime. I saw the first one, and it was all right. I did not yet see the second one, and I did not yet see the last one. So I don't know if what he's saying on that is 100% accurate. I'm not going to say he's lying. I'm not going to say I know for a fact he's telling the truth. I don't know. I didn't watch the special, and I didn't look at any of the reviews on it. If I watch it, if I decide to give a review on it, I'm just going to give you what I give you, just like I do with every show and movie that I watch. Look at the reviews, talk about the ratings, and give my personal take. So I can't say much about that part, but we got about 1 more minute of this.
She complains, and she has grievances. You never see her being a human being. You never see her being sweet and warm to people, except when she's using it to butter somebody up to get something. There's a reason why everywhere she goes, shit starts. Everywhere she goes. How is it that nobody fucks with you, not even your family? How do you, or I was on the road, get it. I get it every goddamn week. Look at my schedule versus yours. See how much I'm going. And I still manage to have a relationship that I cherish with my children. Can you say the same? You can't. Because all you do is talk about your grievances and who did you wrong. There's a reason you're by yourself. There's a reason you got to pay a man to love you. It's sad. There's an old adage that says you can't buy love. It's a shame, Monique, that you probably always will have to.
Folks, we're 1 year away from the 2024 president.
Okay. As far as saying, oh, nobody mess with you, I mean, I don't know. Is he talking about just as far as people that she knows personally? I mean, I don't know. She's a famous actress and comedian who's got fans across the country. Like, again, this is just me speaking from a ignorant point of view because I'm not in their circle. Obviously, I'm not rich or famous. So the real Monique worldwide, okay, she's got over 91,000 subscribers on YouTube. And she's got over 1.5 million followers on Instagram. So, I mean, somebody's got to mess with her. Now, last point is Steve Harvey responds to this whole thing with Monique and DL. Now, I'm going to make this one much quicker, and I'm just going to skip to the part where he said something. Once I get past the dang commercials on here. But hey, let me put that on pause. At least it's free. Oh, God dang it. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Why is this happening right now? Why? All right, now hold on. Here we go.
With Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay, he has the same reaction to comedy, D.L. Hughley. On Friday, Harvey would take time to specifically address the topic of comedy beefs by saying this isn't what the genre was made for. Additionally,
Address what
often involved
Oh, here we
this
go.
type of drama.
I want to address what's being labeled as comedy beefs. This thing that's going around now about comedy beefs, it's only coming really from a few people. 85 South ain't beefing with nobody. And those are the youngest comedic giants out there. What you're seeing, man, in these comedy beefs are people who aren't where they used to be.
Now, without saying any names specifically, Harvey would then tell his listeners that he was a headliner in comedy since 1995, and there has never been a question as to...
All right, so that's that for now. And I'll tell you right now, this is wild. According to Atlanta Black Star, Steve Harvey slammed for being a snake in the grass after warning Monique about the repercussions of telling her truth following feuds with Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels. Oh my goodness. This is wild. This is wild. What is comedy going to look like for 2024? Honestly, you know what? There's one thing that popped into my head. One thing. There's a major question that I have. What's going to be more divisive this year, or what's going to be bigger or more controversial this year? The comedians' feuds or the presidential election? You decide. So, I don't really know, to tell you the truth. I don't know. So, that's that. Comedy Storm. Kevin Hart versus Cat Williams. Dave Chappelle calls out Cat Williams, and some other people side with him. Ari Spears calls out Cat Williams, and Cat Williams calls out Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer and Kevin Hart. Now it's Monique and DL Hughley having a war. And then Steve Harvey calls it out. And wow. People, what do you think about all this? I'm pretty much out of words at this point. So we got more to talk about in other videos. I'll continue talking about the other stuff I normally talk about, shows, movies, games, all that. But another comedian story pops up, I'll talk about that. Like and subscribe. Wow.